Your quest for WordPress speed optimization can be helped along by finding heavy assets and loading them locally where possible. One asset where this can make a huge difference is fonts. Loading them from Google directly can impact your performance scores negatively. So in this video, I'll show you how to load your Google fonts locally using Breakdance. Now, I'll be using Oxygen to illustrate this, but I'll also show you how to do it in Breakdance along the way. So the way we can do that is we can go out to fonts.google.com and we can find our fonts here. In this case, I'm using Enter and I'll hit Get Font to add it to my list. And I'm also using Libre Baskerville. Now, instead of embedding these or anything else that's going to make a call out to Google Fonts, I want to actually download these. Once I have the font files downloaded, I'm going to have .ttf files for the fonts. But I need them to be .woff2 files in order to be able to load them as web fonts in WordPress. One website I've used to do this before is called Font Squirrel, and we can go over to Web Font Generator. We can upload our fonts and it will give us some WOF2 files that we can then use in WordPress. Now in my testing, this didn't work for all of the fonts that I wanted to use, and it might be because one of the fonts is a variable font, but I found another tool that works really well, and it's called the Google Web Fonts Helper. I'll include a link to this in the video description because the URL is kind of wacky. But basically here we can select our font from Google, and then we can pick which styles and sizes we want, and then we can download the font files. Again, this is going to give you some .woff2 files that you can use in WordPress. Now, depending on your site builder or your theme, uploading these custom fonts may work a little differently. If your builder or theme don't offer a way to upload custom fonts, you might need to use a custom font plugin, and there are a few available in the WordPress repository. For me, I'm using Oxygen, which has a custom fonts option, so I'll show you how that works. Let's go ahead and edit this page in Oxygen. And if we go over to the Oxygen logo at the top left and click Preferences, we'll see a Custom Fonts area. If you're using Breakdance, you can access the local font settings by going to the three-dot menu, Preferences, and then Custom Fonts. From here, everything else works pretty much the same as in Oxygen. To add a font, you simply add one and give it a name, test, then add your font files. Once you add a font file, for instance, let's add Enter Latin 900. Open that. Then you just have to specify the font weight, which in this case is 900, and whether it's italic or normal. So you can add all those custom WOF2 files for that individual font that you downloaded so that Oxygen knows how to work with it. Here's what it looks like once you've actually created them. So I named them the font name and then -local so that I know the difference when picking from the font dropdown. And here's how they are all set up. And I did the same thing for Libre Baskerville. Once that's done, what I did is I went into my variables where I've set up my fonts for my body and headings, and I just need to switch these to the local versions. So I need to go to Enter Local and Libre Baskerville Local. In Breakdance, you can then choose your local font by choosing a text element and going to its design settings, and under typography, you can choose a font. But you probably have some presets and you want to change them there so that they impact all of your text elements. So if you go to the three-dot menu, Global Settings, Typography, you can change your base heading font here and select your local font and your body font as well. And then under presets, you can make adjustments to each preset to make sure they're using the local version of the font that you want. If you take a look at the waterfall chart in GTmetrix, for example, you can see the kind of impact your Google fonts are having on your site's performance. With this one tweak, you'll be able to get even more speed out of your already fast Breakdance site.